How to create a pilot batch or R&D. You identify the costing sheet that you want to use as a base. The way to do that is go to the client portal and then go to the costing sheet you're looking for. For this one, we're going to use R&D pilot test. Once we click on it, you want to do an R&D, you hit this button that says create new R&D copy. As soon as you hit it, it pops up watermarked, and it formats the page so that way you can use it for R&D purposes. Check right there, you do whatever you got to do, then you print it, and this is what you use to create an R&D. As you can see, it has a watermark, has R&D ID, and areas where you could type in or write in changes or R&D stuff that you did throughout it. You can see right here that it assigns the R&D ID number, which basically grabs the quote ID and that's the R-003, meaning R&D, third one used. Update costing to save it. Forget about all this stuff, doesn't really matter, and it's saved. When you go to the original costing that you used, R&D pilot test, quote IDs right here, you can see and go to each R&D that you created. There's 1, 2, and 3. The idea is when somebody requests an R&D and your R&D requests it, it shows up here, and whoever creates the R&D creates a new sheet for it. So every time you have a different R&D, you should create a new ID so it's traceable and you could track back any changes made. To create a pilot batch, once again you go to the costing sheet that you're identifying that you want to use. You press this button right here, create pilot. Then you identify how many kilograms you want the pilot to be. Let's say you want it to be half a kilo, then you put 0.5. You want it to be 2 kilos, you put 2. You want to be 1.5, you put 1.5. Once you identify the kilograms you want to create, you press this button, create pilot, and it is now a pilot costing. The difference between the two, from my understanding, is that one is going to be bigger, and pilot batches usually have the raw material ID number of raw materials that we have in-house, as opposed to R&Ds, which could be samples and other materials that are not traceable. Once you do whatever you got to do and you create the pilot batch, you go to this right here and it prints something different. It does the pilot costing, notes, and information that was requested to be entered or written in. Pilot notes, lot number, weighed by, added by. The idea is that you do a pilot batch for every different pilot that you're running, and the idea is not to write or change on current pilot batches or R&Ds, is to create new ones every time you got something new. Once again, you go to the main costing page and you'll be able to see that you could trace back to each pilot batch that you've used. So if you want to reference back to any changes in the computer, or at least what you've done, you could go here. And that is it. Obviously the people that use this will know how to navigate it better, but this gives everybody, including the people that need to use this, an idea of how this works.